Welcome to everyone. Today we're learning Zera Shimshon, Parashat Vayera, letter Tedvav. This shiur is being sponsored by Nison Yadgarov, Elisha Yadgarov, and all the Yadgarov families. Hashem should give them beracha v'atzlacha le'elu nishmat Tamara Bad Leah, and also le'elu nishmat your father-in-law Bechor Baris ben Dora, v'gam Elazar ben Tamara, v'gam kol haniftanu, v'gam Chizkiah Gal ben Tamara, v'gam kol haniftanu v'haniftarot, v'gam Efraim ben Malka, v'gam Amen. And also we would like to say Zilpa bat Tamar, וגם Zina bat Yafa, וגם כל חולי עמו ישראל, וגם בלוריה בת רחל, וגם אבלש בן מזל, כל חולי עמו ישראל, וכן ירצון לומר אמן. I agree with you. זוכה פר מלכה לאה בת חיה, סרל, חנה סרל, וכן ירצון לומר אמן. And this Zera Shimshon, Be'ezrat Hashem, the neshama of Zera Shimshon should pray to Hashem, and Be'ezrat Hashem, our President Donald Trump should win. Amen. And we'll see Be'ezrat Hashem how today, we'll see a few hints from Zera Shimshon how Donald Trump will win Be'ezrat Hashem. Amen. Before I go further, there's a lady who sponsored our shiur many times, from LA. She asked me a question. If Avraham Avinu had 100% emunah and bitachon to Hashem, and Sarah Imenu has 100% emunah and bitachon to Hashem, why would she tell Avraham Avinu to marry Hagar? Why would Sarah Imenu tell Avraham Avinu to marry Hagar? Why would Sarah Imenu tell Avraham Avinu to marry Hagar? There's no bitachon? What's going on here?
Good question.
To get married to Hagar. They have bitachon, no?
Maybe only.
The answer is, honestly, I was thinking long about this answer, and I'm sorry if the answer will not accommodate the person who asked the question. But I tried my best. Gemara says Avraham Avinu and Sarah Avinu were both barren. Then Avraham Avinu prayed. Hashem answered him, you will have children. Then Sarah Avinu told Avraham Avinu to marry Hagar. Why? To show Avraham Avinu the power of Brit Milah. You could have children from 1,000 different wives. But if you want to have children from Sarah Imenu, you only have to have Brit Milah. If you don't have Brit Milah, you are not going to have child from Sarah Imenu, and you will not have Yitzchak Avinu. So therefore, Avraham Avinu did not make Brit Milah. He married Hagar. Hagar gave right away baby Ishmael. But to have Yitzchak Avinu from Eshet Chal Sarah Imenu, you have to have Brit Milah only. So therefore, Avraham Avinu made 99 years old Brit Milah, and 100 years old he had son from Sarah Imenu because of the Zechut of Brit Milah, Yitzchak Avinu. That is my answer. If that answer does not touch her, then I have another proof. What's the proof? How do you say this mitzvah? Brit. Bar Yud Tav. Bar Yud Tav. Yud Tav is abbreviation of Yid Barach. Yud Tav is Gematria 410. 410 is Gematria Kadosh. This is why Yitzchak Avinu was San Kadosh. And that's the proof. You want to have San Kadosh? You have to have Brit Milah. No Brit Milah, you cannot have child who is Kadosh. Yitzchak Avinu, only through Brit Milah. This is what Hashem showed Avraham Avinu. You'll ask me, why to wait 100 years old? Why 100 years old? Remember we on Rosh Hashanah said from Aleph to Tav, put all the Gematrias without zeros, you'll get to number 100. Remember that we did? Yeah, okay. How it happens? Because the whole power of Torah is what? Aleph to Tav. And Aleph to Tav, you combine everything, comes out letter 100, comes out number 100. And therefore Hashem said, I want Yitzchak Avinu. How, there's a light bulb. I remember 18 years ago working in the light store over there. There's a light bulb called full spectrum. If I understand in my language, it means a light bulb that has full light inside, fully like full now. Full spectrum is what? It's full powered, no? Full spectrum. Whatever is that. Whatever is that. So, what does that mean? If you want Yitzchak Avinu to be full spectrum of Torah, that only when Avraham Avinu is 100 years old. Avraham Avinu could have had him 15 years old boy, 20-year-old boy. No, Hashem said you want full koach of Torah, Kiddushat Torah, only when you're 100. Only when you're 100. This is why Parashat called Lech Lecha, Gimatria 100, Now it makes sense everything. What?
That answers the question of having the Brit to have the baby.
Yeah.
What about for Hagar? Why did he go to Hagar?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Simple answer is, Hashem showed him, if you want to have baby from Sarah, you have to wait till you have Brit. If you want to have baby from anybody, b'chavod. But there is a Zohar says, in order to get Kiddusha, you have to first close the Sitra Achara mouth. I'll give you proof. On Yom Kippur, how many goats you bring korban? You bring 2 korban. One is La Hashem, one is La Azazel. You close Satan's mouth. If you don't close Satan's mouth, you can't get korban La Hashem. You understand? So same thing. To close Satan's mouth, you had Ishmael. To get Kedusha, you had Yitzchak Avinu. You understand? Why he waited so long? Because he didn't have zechut to do Brit. After he did Brit, then Sarah Imenu got pregnant.
But he knew he had to do Brit, no? Before Hashem told him.
100%. Avraham Avinu knew to do Brit when he was 10 years old, 15 years old, okay? Why he waited till 100? Because Brit Milah is one-time thing. If you do when you're not commanded, it's worth a penny. When you do when you command it, it's called the whole Torah Kula. It's called, it's worth the whole Torah. So therefore, Gadol ha-metzuveh ve'oseh mishe'eno metzuveh ve'oseh, Chazal say. It's better when you are commanded to do the mitzvah and you do the mitzvah, then we do without mitzvah, without being commanded. So same thing. So if Avraham Avinu would do when he was 20, and Hashem told him, Avraham Avinu, I want you to do now when you're 100. He says, I did already. So that's not the same power. That's not the same Kedusha.
But
Okay.
when he was, let's say, 10 or 30 years old, Avraham Avinu already knew that when he was going to be 100, he was going to do a Brit.
He did not know when 100. He said, I will wait till Hashem tell me.
But he knew that a Brit circumcision had to be done.
100%. Of course. Huh? Why he keep the Torah? Because him keeping the Torah, that was allowed for him. Why? Because for him, Hashem did not say you have to have Brit Milah when you're 8 years old. Me and you keep the Torah without Brit Milah, it's 0. Why? Because we have to do Brit Milah when we are 8 days old. You didn't do Brit Milah 8 days old. Every day you live without Brit Milah, you get sin.
Does the Torah talk about Brit before Avraham Avinu?
Why did Hashem?
Never.
Why did Hashem let it go so far?
Huh?
100. He should have done
Yeah, he
it.
could have like 10 kids, how about? You could have
He
like
was
10
older,
kids.
man. What was the test of not having a Brit?
Instead of having 10 kids.
Hey, we gave the answer already. Hey, we gave the answer already. That they had to be 100 because from Aleph to Tav we said all the letters. But this is Zohar answer. I'll give you pshat. You want a pshat? Pshat is like this. How many Gerim Avraham Avinu had?
Many.
In the beginning, 1,000. When he was 20, 2,000. When he was 30, 4,000. When he was 100, when he was 99, 200, he went to fight with the war, remember? To save Lot? Mm-hmm. That time, he get the majority Gerim. This is why Shem, son of Noah, came out and said, listen, give me the souls and I'll give you the money. Abraham said, hey, no. If I give you these people, you're not going to make them so much closer to Hashem. Choser b'tshuva tzadikim.
But he didn't do it.
Gemurim, then I would, huh?
There was no 10 people, right?
Listen good. Listen good. Avraham Avinu. I read it yesterday night. The question is, when did Avraham Avinu get majority of the Gerim? The majority of the Gerim he got at the day of Brit Milah. Why? Because when you talk about Hashem, you talk already for 70 years. What do I care you talk about Hashem? But when you go and you sacrifice your body when you're old man to Hashem, that shows whatever you say, you mean it 100%. That is real. That is real. Why? Because you give your surgery when you are in danger, 90, 100 years old, 99 years old. That is already shows that you did what? It's called Mesirut Nefesh. You sacrificed your soul. That what brought more thousands of people that day to do Brit Milah. This is why Avraham Avinu was standing and giving people Brit Milah left and right. Since then, other day and another day and another day. It was going. Brit Milah never stopped praying. Why? Because people saw he doesn't talk. Today, I'll tell you one thing. 2-3 missionaries come to your house and say, you okay, Chazak Baruch, stop. Open up. I'm going to give you circumstances if you really mean about God. He's going to give you circumstances. Before you open your eyes and close, he's going to be already 300 miles away from you. Stop. When you talk about Hashem, we talk about Brit. You don't talk about Brit, then you talk about Getchka. Go to your Getchka. So Avraham Avinu, he did Brit Milah when? He was the Moel. There was 2 Moalim by Avraham Avinu. He was Moel and Hashem was Moel. Yes, Chas Shalom and Chas Chalila. There's no opinion. Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was doing the Brit Milah to everybody. But there's a lot of opinions say there was Brit Milah, but there was no Priya. There was no twisting until Moshe Rabbeinu came.
If missionaries don't need a Brit Milah, what's the point of asking them to do a Brit?
If missionaries don't need Brit Milah, they do need Brit Milah in their tongue, number one. Number two, they need some screws to be put in the proper place. And number three, you should know one thing. For life. I'll tell you, I know people will listen to this, they're gonna run off me, but I'll tell you one thing. Hashem cured me today. I had very terrible heartburn, I don't know why. But Hashem cured me. I want to give you one secret. I know you'll be upset at me, but I have to teach you this. I have to tell you this. Listen to me. To go house to house and to talk against Hashem, against Torah, you gotta be extra chutzpah like Snake was. Once they do that, there's no doubt that they lived with any other goyim. Any Jew lives with Goya, there's a Brit Milah of Avraham Avinu that father says to his son, during Brit Milah, Lachniso bivrito shel Avraham Avinu, and he does Peri'ah. Any Jew goes and lives with Goya, he goes and that Goya helps him to cover the Peri'ah back. And therefore, it will not help him, this Brit Milah, when he leaves the world by the gate of Avraham, by the gate of Gan Eden. Avraham Avinu won't be able to save him. Why? Avraham Avinu will say, you have Brit Milah, you had, but the fact you lived with Goya, she helped you to cover it up. So same thing. The guy who is going as a missionary to go against Torah and against Hashem, there's no doubt he lived with Goya. He goes against the Brit Milah of Avraham Avinu, and this Brit Milah is not going to save him. So therefore, anyone in his lifetime, if he did any mistake, anyone who listens to the shiur, if he did any mistake with Goya in his lifetime, he should know until today, his Brit Milah is not going to protect him until he makes teshuvah. He has to stop everything. He has to make teshuvah that he made such a avera, and that will put it back his priya. And Be'ezad Hashem, one day, when he will need help of his Brit, he's going to help him. It means to say that even in Olam Haba, to get up after 120, when Mashiach comes today, some people say everyone will pass away and then we'll get up. How will they get up? With the help of Avraham Avinu. Big derech I see around here. Very good, nice, perfect. With the help of Avraham Avinu to do the Brit Milah. But if person was going around and not keeping Shmirat HaBrit, it's not going to help him. So guys, Rabbi Ilan is getting upset. Come on, we gotta start by... we're gonna finish by 10.
We haven't started yet?
Кем стать, Зера Shimshon? Они вопросы не дают мне дышать, you know? Okay, by the way, from those people from LA, if they don't like the answer, please text me one more time your question. Maybe I didn't understand properly your question, and we'll be able to give another answer. Let's go further. You should know one thing. I had today few Zera Shimshons to choose, but I chose this one because it talks about the destruction of Sodom. I'll tell you one thing. Anytime you learn Torah, it's not learning Torah then happened, then. Not true. These two Yimach Shemam that are running New York right now, they are trying to do New York into Sodom, where your business, you are not the boss. Your house, you're not the boss. Your party, you're not the boss. Your restaurant, you're not the boss. I'm the boss. I could do anything. I guest, nobody, no respect to the guest. Nothing. So this is what today we are here for, to learn Zera Shimshon and prove prove how this Sodom behavior will be destroyed. And Be'ezrat Hashem, the one that we vote for, he will win. Why? Because he wants Yesh Din v'Yesh Dayan. There's a judgment and there's a judge. There's Hashem. You do crime, you're responsible for your crime, my friend. You did something, there's a law and there's an order. This is why I chose this Zera Shimshon. And with this Zuchut, the Neshama of Zera Shimshon will help us. And the election will win. And the world will be normally set as was before. By Zera Hashem. But I'll tell you one thing. I said to myself, I had today I don't like to say my personal stories to anybody, it's not nobody's business, but anytime there's something scary in the world happens, I have heartburn, big heartburn. One thing I had during Corona, and when that heartburn came down, that was the last day of Pesach, maybe a week after that, I said to my wife, look, I have tremendous heartburn for 2-3 days, and now it's going away. It goes away, and the world will calm down. Why? Because every person is a small world. You know, you feel pain, the world is in pain. So today, during Shiur, before the Shiur Gemara, we had a lot of pain, and now Baruch Hashem, it went away. So it shows the whole Dadli Sar goes down, and the world will be fine, everything will be good. So we'll see Be'ezrat Hashem tomorrow morning, a lot of miracles, that no question Trump will win. Why? Why? Because he means Hashem. He doesn't mean fakeness. He doesn't mean personal power, me power, power to me, power, communism. No, he means Hashem. Once you mean Hashem, you will win. You could open the window, doors, no worries, and let's look inside. We're going to fly through. V'ta'am hafichad ha'arim. And the reason why Hashem destroyed the cities of Sodom, who dumi elamai da'amrinan bedor ha'mabul. That's exactly compared to what it says by Dor ha'mabul. Al pasuk, hinini mashchita mitayz. And Hashem said, and I will behold, destroy the land. Mashal lemelech. This is compared a parable. This is a parable compared to the king Shayalo ben umasadoto lepedagog. A king had a son, and he gave the son to pedagogue, teacher. When you have personal teacher to your son, when your son does not behave properly, 1 second, who will you punch? Who will you punish? The son or the teacher? You have a son, okay? A king has a son, and he gives son to the teacher and says, listen, train him. King comes to his son and sees not trained, doesn't have derech eretz, doesn't have looter, breaks through everything, steals everything. A king wants to punish his son. He's going to punish his son. He's going to punish the teacher. Teacher, why? Why teacher? Why teacher? He didn't do his job. So what happened now? Who will get hurt? The teacher will get hurt. V'afkan, here also, ho'il she'ikar hatam. She'ikar chata'am. Lo haya ela mechamad lo tova. Why people sin during Noach's time? Because they had too much good. When people have too much good, they forget about Hashem. She'aya mashpad lahem artzam. What caused them this? The land. They would have double, triple grain, double, triple apples, fruits, vegetables. There was too much good. Abundance of everything caused them to lose themselves, and they start sinning left and right. Hashem said like this: who punished you? Who caused you to sin? Land, Zimla, the land. I will punish the land as well, and the whole land got disappeared. What happened? Under the ground. This is why we have Sodom. This is why we have salt water. How you call that? Dead Sea. Because that was the Sodom. Sodom was Dead Sea. When Mashiach comes, Sodom will not going to be anymore Dead Sea. It's going to be the city of Sodom as before. Now they're doing their kapara. This is why the water carefully goes less and less. Why? Because eventually the world is fixing himself carefully. You have to know, respect the guest. So don't want to destroy their guests, and this is what happened to them. So it says, Lachen il kafi. Hashem said, I'm going to punish the land. And what's the punishment? Lo tizera v'lo tatzmiach. You cannot plant nothing in the Dead Sea, and nothing will grow there. And you cannot harvest nothing. Why? Because it's Dead Sea. It's dead land. Hashem cursed it. Hashem said, no, nothing will be growing there. Over there was the destruction of, there's individual destruction, there's how? General, thank you very much, that's the word. General destruction. In Sodom, they made general destruction. Hachi, Mishum Hachi, Chazar v'tiken ha'olam. Hashem said like this, I'm going to fix the world. What does that fix the world? By destroying Sodom. You destroy Sodom, you fix the world. Okay? You destroy, you throw away the Democrats and the world gets fixed. Why? Because why they give you permission to come and rob your store? Sodom. Your things are not yours. I could do whatever I want. I come to your house, I come to your family, I come to your wife, I come to your daughter. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. And Hashem says, no, that behavior doesn't go. The way I destroyed Sodom then, I'm going to destroy Sodom this generation. And today is going to happen. You'll see. How here is not so. But here in Sodom was over there by Lot. What was there? General. Hashem wiped out everybody. Here is what? Individual. The city of Sodom. The world is standing on what? On judgment. Whoever makes no judgment, they are digging under the world. Hashem says, digging under the world, you're going to go under there. The world will stay with the judgment. So therefore, I'm giving you another proof that today you'll see good news, Be'ezrat Hashem. Next, Vekan Adrabah. But here, opposite. Arba Dayanei Havu Besodom. In Sodom, there were 4 different judges. So if so, what happened then? Why they get destroyed? We go free Esh, and then says Zera Shimshon says go free Esh. You know what go free Esh? Means what? Sulfur. What is that?
It burns slow, no?
What is that? What is that? Tell me. It looks like a salt rock.
Yeah, sulfur. It burns.
Huh?
It burns. It's like a salt.
It's like a salt, exactly. Hashem made sulfur fall like hail and acid rain, exactly. Acid rain, it's yellowish, exactly, and with fire, banging on their head.
That's how it kills Sodom?
Al sheberotachin kilkelu ba'avera. Why? Because with heat stuff, you sinned. You ruined things with the heat. Heat sin. Sometimes person
Makes a sin with tachtidi.
Atachtidi. When you sin with a heated heart, Hashem says, I'm going to send you punishment also heated ones. Uberutachin nidonu kadur hamabul, kador hamabul, and they were with the heat judged like the generation of the flood. Umakata sanverim. But what happened to them? They got also blind. They got punishment of the blindness. Why? Because they sinned with their eyes. How? They had bad eyes. They desired somebody else's money. They desired wives of their friends. And Hashem says, you desire after your eyes, you're going to get hurt on your eyes. Therefore, the rule is, the salt from the Sodom will get person blind. This is why we do, one of the reasons we do Mayim Acharonim Chova. Why? Because maybe salt on your table is from the Sodom. If that salt touch your eye, it could make you blind. This is the reason why salt of Sodom makes person blind. Because people of Sodom, they ran after their eyes and they got punished because of their eyes. And that salt over there against person's eyes. Why? Because that is midah keneged midah for the eyes. Makes you blind on the eyes. Make sense?
Yes.
Makes sense. Let's go further.
After each time you eat bread or only on Zimun?
And that's my question. Why you hear such a good chidush, you don't dance? This is a proof for life. You hear 20 years. If Sodom touch your eye, make you blind. Why eye? Why not tongue? Tongue also something burn. No, eye. They ran after their eyes, and this is why burns. What? What are you saying?
Why are you supposed to do my after each meal or after each time you eat bread or only with the zimun?
When you finish the meal.
Any meal or?
With the bread. With the bread. No bread, no bread, no. Huh?
If you're saying one person or solo or with 3 people with zimun.
Even you do Birkat Hamazon alone. Yeah. Because once you make hamotzi, you have to make Mayim Acharonim. Either way, you with 3 people, not 3 people. וזהו הטעם שהמלח תמיד מסמא את העיניים, לפי שהמלח מגין על הפורענות, because salt helps for the suffering. כדלקמן בסמוך. It says later on, והפורענות הראשון שלא הגין עליהם המלח, and the first suffering didn't help salt, שהייתה מכת הסנוורים. Why? Because Hashem sent them blindness, and therefore the soul did not save them from the blindness. Next piece. Then also, כשם שהתאמן הקדוש ברוך הוא טובה מעין עולם הבא, have Hashem gave them taste of goodness of Olam Haba, their fields start growing many things, good things, abundance. By the way, I'm sorry, I did not say specifically. During the flood, before flood, they would plant 1 year, and 30 years they would get produce from this. 30 years before flood. So Hashem gave them the good from Olam Haba. Now look at this. כשם שהתאמן הקדוש ברוך הוא טובה מעין עולם הבא, how Hashem gave them good from עולם הבא, כמו שאמרו ז"ל, as חכמים say in זוהר, פרשת וירא, page 109 עמוד א', על הפסוק כגן, השם, okay, כך התאמן רעה מעין גיהנום. Same thing, Hashem gave them bad from גיהנום. Hashem does good from Gan Eden, Hashem gave them bad from גיהנום. שהוא חושך וצל מוות. This is darkness and the shade of the death. Punishment. והמטיל עליהם אש, and Hashem rained to them fire. The fire was hitting with a salt, big pieces of salt, how do you call that? Sulfur and fire on it. It would heat them and burn them, okay? What do you say? Skila and what? Serefa. והמטיל עליהם אש, אישו של גיהנום, the fire of גיהנום, yes.
So before the flood, actually, I remember they would plant seeds, right? Let's say they wanted to, like, since Hashem was about to erase humanity, they would plant, let's say they wanted to plant like pickles or something, then they would get buckwheat out of that, and then everything would become different because the soil was becoming corrupt.
Yeah, that's why he brought the flood.
They didn't know where their kids were coming from.
Very good point. I forgot to mention this. Very good. Thank you.
By the way, Sodom also had the same system, right?
Huh?
In Sodom, you would also plant something. They were also very rich in Sodom, right?
Yeah.
So you were saying before the flood, but the way it would go.
Now we're talking about Sodom.
It would go the same way, right?
וגופרית and rocks of sulfur, לפי שלא הרגישו בחייהם לעשות תשובה. Why Hashem gave them this? Because they didn't feel that they need to make teshuvah. I'll tell you one thing. If you want your tefillah to be answered ever in your life, first do teshuvah and then do that. Today, before voting, anybody do teshuvah? Hashem, I'm sorry for my sin, and then do vote.
Before what?
Before voting. You have to be clean highway when you pray to Hashem. What cleans highway? Teshuvah. Kedita b'midlash Rabbah, it says in Midrash Rabbah, pasuk, v'Hashem imtil, and it says in Midrash what? And Hashem made it rain. Let's go. Amar Rabbi Yuden, mipnei ma adam mariach reach gofrid v'nafsho soledet alav. Whoever smelled sulfur,
Not a good idea.
if you smell it, this is one of the things that make your neshama scared. You feel very terrible inside. Why?
Toxic smell.
Toxic smell. Look what it says over here. Rav Yudin said, why when people smell it, why when people smell it, their soul becomes trembling. Lama? Mepnei shehi yodat shehi nidonet. Because a rasha in Gehinnom will be judged by the sulfur. So neshama feels the terrible judgment after 120 with the sulfur if he chas v'shalom lives from this world as a rasha. Le'atid lavo ad kan leshono. So if person lives this world as a rasha, the sulfur will be one of the things that is going to be judged by the sulfur of the fire of the sulfur in Gehinnom. I mean, I didn't invite you here to scare you, because listen to me. At the night, when people say don't walk in the street, you come to learn Torah, you're the biggest tzaddik in the world. And you have bigger connection to Hashem than anybody. So what I'm trying to tell you is, This is what I'm teaching you. I'm not teaching you, I'm sorry. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. What Zera Shimshon says is because I want you to understand anything you smell, anything you taste has a reason behind it. You smell something and it gives you uncomfortable feeling, means your neshama is scared of that thing. This is why you smell that. Okay? Let's go further. V'kashem, and it's difficulty. Lama nishar ba'olam hazeh davar shehu remez legehenom. Why in this world remain this sulfur, which is sign of gehenom? Davka b'chush shel hareich, and it's your aware and the smell and the sense of smell. Why? ומכל שכן שהעבירות שבזה החוש הם יותר מעט משאר החושים. And sinning with the nose, it's much less category of sinning than other ones. Tell me, when you get more benefit of sinning? With the eye when you sin or with the nose when you sin? Of course with the eye. When you sin with your ear or you sin with the nose? You hear Lashon, oh, let me hear more, like, With the nose, not so much. Nose is very less.
The least one.
The least one.
You don't smell it?
Huh?
Unless you smell chazir, that's all about.
Let me tell you something. There is some, one second. There is some Avodah Zarah, they stay in the middle of Manhattan streets and they make spices over there. If you pass by just to smell it, that is Avodah Zarah in German, number one. Number two, you know, this woman who lives in your building, let's say, she takes shower in her perfume, and you say, oh, you know what? She's walking now. Let me walk after her, and I'm gonna smell that thing. That also. Yehene av.
So if I smell the perfume and I know which lady,
Your nose enjoying, huh?
that's like I know one lady.
This is one of the terrible things,
Particular perfume only. If
Yeah.
I smell it in the lobby or I know it's her.
Problem.
Does it please you or does
That-
it upset
that-
you?
So what do you do is, Malayaran, if you want to go home 11 o'clock, ask 3 more questions. One thing I'll tell you one thing. This is the point when you go, like smell it out. Like, Hashem, I don't want to smell this garbage. Another thing. This is the reason why men should not be working in Landramat. Why? When woman brings her clothes and he hangs it, he could look at the clothes and think about her. It's a problem. Okay? Yeah, it's a problem. But if he takes clothes from women and he doesn't know those women, or he works in the back and his wife accepts one woman and they put the stuff and he doesn't know who's this, then there's no problem. Same thing with dry cleaning. I mean, yeah, of course, same thing. Laundromat, dry cleaning, same thing.
That's different.
When you look at woman's dress, the woman that you know, you get desire.
Man, just the thought.
You're telling me it's a new dress if you live in Borough Park, in Bnei Brak, you're right. Borough Park, you're right. New York.
Class is in session.
ויש לומר, שאמרו ז"ל, and some say that Chachamim say, and also we could say as our Chachamim say, I'm sorry. דף ברכות דף מ"ג עמוד ב' גמר ברכות page 43b. איזה הוא דבר שהנשמה נהד ממנו? What is something that your neshama enjoys from this in this world? ואין הגוף נהנה ממנו, and the body doesn't enjoy it all. הווה אומר זה הריח. This is smell. When you smell, your neshama enjoys, but body doesn't enjoy. עוד אמרו, and also they said, גמר תענית page 11a, שנשמתו של האדם מעידה בו בכל יום. Your soul gives testimony about you every day. ויודעת שנפלאים ממנו. And your soul knows if you enjoy from certain things that you're not allowed to enjoy, your neshama knows that you have to pay for it. אבל הגוף מוטבע בתאוות העולם. But your body is swallowed up in the desires of this world. ולעולם חושב, and always is thinking, והיה כזה יום מחר גדול יותר מאוד. And he thinks tomorrow is better day. לכן, בחוש הריח, therefore, when you smell, שהנשמה לבד נהנית ממנו, only your neshama enjoys, נשאר בו רמז של גיהנום. Therefore, why you have sulfur in this world? To smell it, this is the reminder to you, wake up call from גיהנום. כדי שתזכור העונש יותר, so you remember the punishment Chas v'shalom could be if person sins. Ukshetaaseh hatra'a el adam. When you make warning to a person, titen lo siman zeh. When you give him sulfur to smell, and he feels gehenom, he remembers. V'kivan shemargish efshar sheyaseh tshuva. When he feels it, he's going to make tshuva. That's the reason Hasidim they pray mincha im dimdume chama. When the sun is, when the clouds are, when the sky is red. Why? They say this reminds us the fire of Gehenom and they make teshuvah. Second reason, when Hashem sits on his throne, the whole Shamayim becomes red. Or you remember Shekhinah, he makes teshuvah also to get connected to Hashem with happiness. So what are we trying to do here? Today, all of us sitting here learning this is the best teshuvah ever. And Hashem should hear our tefillot and put Donald Trump, our president, as a president for the next 4 years. And Oded Hashaim should be Yimach Shemam. And all the tzaddikim should be written in Sefer Chaim Tovim Arichut Yamim V'Shanim. Thank you all for coming to the shiur. Hashem should give you bracha v'atzlacha v'chen yeratzon v'nomar lamed. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasha.